What's up, RNYTV baby? How you doing? Hello, everyone else in the room, y'all. How y'all doing? Hope everyone's having a good evening. Hope everyone had a good weekend, and hope everyone is doing well. This is your boy Food Junkie, and I want to have a conversation. I alluded to the conversation in my last upload with the social media Miranda rights, but people really don't get it. People don't understand what's really going on. So I want to give you my understanding. What's up, Lionheart baby? How you doing? I want to give you guys my understanding of what I have been seeing and how I see things and what I see is going on. You saw the title, you guys. That's why y'all are here. And also, y'all here to support your boy. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. The title is Homosexuality and the Battle for the Soul. This weekend, the conversation has been about homosexuality, what's a sin, what's not a sin, this and the third. I want to touch on a couple of different things that I've been hearing on these YouTube streets and in these conversations. And mind you, let me keep it real. I'm not following all the bullshit that's going on, whatever. I'm not trying to go after everyone or try to follow everyone's conversations. I don't care about a lot of people on here like that. I really don't. So let's keep that shit real. But let me talk about what the genesis of this conversation came from. And y'all know I don't care for Jay Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Like him, dislike him, don't care for him at all. Don't like his hubris, don't like his arrogance, his cockiness, and the fact that you don't have anything to be cocky or arrogant for. You know what I'm saying? Those things I don't like about Jay Wilson. But the conversation started on Jay Wilson's channel. I was at work on Friday night, listening to Jay Wilson's panel, you know what I'm saying? And let me tell y'all, so since a lot of y'all like to red ball stuff and don't really like to understand what's really going on, the conversation was where I guess it was ZT, Shelly, Jay Wilson, and one more person. I forgot who the person was, so please forgive me, was on the panel. ZT said what he said was not, got off the panel. Brian came on the panel, was not, it was wanted to address, quote unquote, initially ZT, but ZT was off the panel. So Brian then addressed Shelly. And Shelly started off by saying, you know, hey, Brian, how you doing? Being nice, being cordial, being cool. Thought everything was okay. Brian then said, well, Shelly, I hope you don't get mad at me because I done cussed you out on my panel. She was like, what? What'd I do? Da-da-da-da. So that's how that whole disagreement with Shelly and Brian started. But then I'm like, okay, I was confused. Like, okay, I don't know what is going, how this happened was not, you know, right. You know, a Gemini, yeah, Gemini. No, that was after it initially started. He came in after everything got started about this whole homosexuality and biblical thing. But it was another person before him because he came in after the conversation got started. I'm talking about the very genesis of it where Brian came on the panel. He wasn't on there. It was somebody else. Because it was 3 people, then Brian. Because it was 4 people, then it was ZT got off, and then Brian came on. So it was only 4 people there. And then Gemini came on after the fact, or in the middle of the fact. But my video yesterday, the little upload I did, the little short I did, a 25-second short I did with the Miranda rights, and it is as follows. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you can and say will be used against you in a court of public opinion on these YouTube streets. On the social media streets, basically. You have the right to your opinion, but keep in mind, we have the right to critique, criticize, and comment on your opinions. And I did that because of what happened Friday night. So the conversation became, you know, saying, Jay Wilson, like I said, I don't fuck with him like that. Don't care for him like that. I do listen to his stuff, whatever. So like I said, that's why I find a lot of mess. You know what I'm saying? So Jay Wilson asked Brian after Brian attacked Shelly for no reason whatsoever, and Shelly cussed him out a little bit. Was not because which I feel is well deserved. Brian, get upset if you want to. We don't have a problem with each other, but you went up there to provoke and try to attack Shelly for no reason whatsoever. So after Shelly said what she said, who the fuck you talking to? Fuck you, this and the third, and was quiet in the background. Jay Wilson asked the question, Brian, is it true that you believe that you have demons inside of you based on your homosexuality? Keep in mind, my Miranda rights I just read to you guys. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you can say on the social media streets will be used against you. Now, that question that Jay Wilson asked was for, and this is unbiased commentary right here. Unbiased commentary, not don't like anyone, don't dislike anyone, was not just giving commentary based on what's going on the YouTube streets. That question that Jay Wilson asked was based on commentary that Brian did on his channel, where Brian was crying, wailing, busted out in tears about how unhappy he is, how he feels that his homosexuality is a demon, which he said on Jay Wilson's channel as well, is a sex demon that he cannot fight and that he don't have control over. So that was the initial question that started this whole conversation. But based on hearing some commentary about this conversation they had, I have a couple questions. Since we're going to use biblical terms and biblical analogies and things of that nature, doesn't the Bible say, judge not unless ye be judged? Doesn't the Bible also say, ye without sin cast the first stone? Just those two phrases that people use, be it correctly or incorrectly, from the Bible, for me, is how I live my life. I know that and if we were all born sinners, that means that no one on here should be judging anyone for anything, correct? If we all can acknowledge that we were all born sinners because we were born of earthly flesh, not in our heavenly body, we were all born sinners, which means that we all have the propensity to sin in some way, shape, or form. No sin is better than the other sin. No sin is greater than another sin. What's up, Robert? How you doing, baby? None of these sins are greater than the other or less than the other. A sin is a sin in the eye of God. That's what we're talking about right now. And the battle for our souls, right? We still have to atone for the sin that we have been born unto, which is the earthly body, the flesh of man. We've all been born there. No one has been born into the heavenly body. So therefore, we all have been born sinners. Can we agree on that? And if we all can agree on that we all been born sinners, ye without sin cast the first stone. So why are we casting stones trying to say which sin is greater than the next? Why are we saying that one sin is greater or better than the next sin? The sin of lust. So there are 7 deadly sins: wrath, envy, pride, lust, greed. You know what I'm saying? Wrath. All those 7 deadly sins are the sins that we all have the propensity to inhabit, or the propensity to actually, you know what I'm saying? I missed out one. Y'all know what I'm saying? If y'all know the deadly sins was not, y'all know what it is. We all have those sins within us in some way, shape, or form. I don't care how confident someone is, there's someone out there that makes you feel inadequate. So that is jealousy. When you speak with anger, when you speak with hatred, when you speak with disdain and disregard of somebody was not, that could be considered wrath. Sloth, when you overindulge in things. Envy, you are envious of what someone else have. I don't care what anyone says. There's someone out here who has had something more than what you have, or something that you felt that you deserve. So therefore, you was envious of that individual, and you have committed sin just by the thought of being envious of that person. Help God with his job. God don't need help with his job. If God is all knowing, all seeing, all powerful, he don't need our help. He don't need our flawed opinions to help him with his job. So that right there goes out the window for me. So lust, greed, envy, sloth, pride, you know what I'm saying? Wrath, all those things. Exactly, right. So with that understanding, with that whatever, let's talk about this commentary was now. Like I said, the reason why Jay was asked that question was because Brian was on his channel crying in tears, literally in tears, professing his disdain for what he does sexually. Exactly. Right, Raw. You're absolutely right about that. That's the only thing that God asks is to love each other. That's why I always tell you guys, I love you guys. Regardless if I like you or not, my job is to love you. My job is to love everyone on here, even if I agree with you or even if I disagree with you. That's how do I leave my commentary? I love you, but it's not important that I love you guys. It's important that you love yourself, love someone else, respect yourself, and respect someone else. That's my job. So regardless of what I do, as long as I'm doing that job, that's the job that God asks of me. To love my fellow man, to love my fellow human being, to love, just love in general. But Jay Wilson's question was messy, of course, because it's Jay Wilson. But his question was also based in what Brian said, what Brian did. Hence, back to my social media Miranda rights. You put stuff out there. You put things out there, so therefore, people have the right to comment on it. Just like this right here, people have the right to comment on this, like it, dislike it, do whatever you want to do. But it is what it is. It's unbiased and it's factual. Like I said, I don't fuck with Jay Wilson. But in that instance, while he was being messy and being himself, the reason why several things got out of hand was because Brian said he believes because his mama told him and taught him that, which is great, all well and fine. But if all you can go by is what your mama told you and you don't have your own understanding of what it means, your own acknowledgement of what it means, your own clarity and clarification of what it means, then when Jay Wilson called him, was it ignorant or stupid, whatever the case may be, or lazy, I understand that. Because if your defense is what my mama said, and I believe what my mama said, as if your mom is in her heavenly body, as if your mom was Christ, as adults, we need to understand and to learn. Yes, we were raised a certain way, but as an adult, and God give us free will, it's up to us to understand what it is that is right for us and our lives and not live through our parents' eyes. A job of a parent is to give you the tools you need to survive. The job of the parent is to give you the tools and education and the leadway for you to come into your own understanding, because that's what God does. That's what free will is. And isn't God the ultimate parent? Isn't the God the parent of your parent and the parent of your parents? Isn't God the creator of all? So therefore, if that's our understanding and God gives us free will, why don't we have the understanding that our earthly parents, mother and father, has given us or should give us free will? If you think of, what's her name? Miss Cruiser asked a question in the chat, do you think the Bible is infallible? And Jay Wilson was like, no, it's not infallible. Because it's not. It was written by men. And if the Bible is infallible or not, why has it been translated so many different times? And you can pick up different Bibles from different eras and different generations or different translations or whatnot, and there's slightly differences in those Bibles, which makes it infallible. It's funny to me that all these educated people can't break it down to the lowest common denominator. If someone was to ask me, do I think the Bible is infallible or not? My answer is this. No, it's not infallible because it's been translated so many different times, and you can go to different translations to pull out different texts that means different things based on the time period, based on who wrote it, based on this and based on that. That what make exactly. That what makes the Bible infallible to me. Not because I studied in seminary, not because I know it back forwards and backwards. Without which version do you know? Which version have you read? And yes, there are infallible things in the Bible, which makes it infallible in general, because it was written down by man. Yes, it was inspired by God. It was, you know what I'm saying? God was inspiration, but the Bible is also a vehicle of control. If you look at the Bible is about control. Do this or you're going to hell. Do that or you're going to hell. I'm judging you. I'm doing it. But all that is our earthly, heavenly thoughts and opinions. The Bible isn't a book of, the Bible is a book of, what's that word? I just had it tip of my tongue. parables. The Bible is a book of parables. And that's why God say, well, that's why I don't say what God says. Well, that's why God tells me, before you pick up this book, pray to me. Ask me for understanding. Ask me for guidance to help you get what you need to get from this book. And it's nothing to do with is homosexual right or wrong, or who's good, who's bad, what's not. If Brian feels that his homosexuality is a demon, and Jay Wilson says is not, his is not, those are those two grown ass men's opinions about themselves. I understand that homosexuality is not a demon. The act, any act that is against the word of God is a sin. The act of adultery, the act of sex out of marriage, the act of lust, the act of pride, the act of wrath, the act of sloth, the act of all the 7 deadly sins is a sin. We all have different types of demons in us. The Bible says a lot of things. We shouldn't salt our food. We should only have sex to procreate. And if we're going to use the Bible as that, doesn't the Bible also say? And I thought it was after Noah and the ark, Noah's 3 sons. 2 sons walked over to Noah with their backs turned to him to cover him up, and the 3rd son was the one who did something unseemly to Noah, and that was what God meant by, you know what I'm saying? Man shouldn't lay with man as man should lay with woman. And isn't that about the fact that, you know what I'm saying, a son did something unearthly to their father, unholy to their father? Now, it don't say exactly what the act was, but it said basically it was an inappropriate act that should not be. What's up, RJ Supreme Baby? How you doing? It shouldn't be something that have been interaction between the son and the father. Basically taking advantage of someone in their state. It could be all kind of things that can be interpreted into. But people who chooses to try to use the Bible as a platform for homosexuality is wrong, use it as that. Like, there's nothing in the Bible that says homosexuality is wrong. There's not a passage in the Bible that says homosexuality is wrong, because that word wasn't even used during the time the Bible was written. Now, we all can say the act of, but the act of anything that is against one of the daily, that is part of the 7 deadly sins, is wrong. Lust, yes, acting upon lust is wrong. Acting upon lust between a man and a man is wrong. Acting upon, based on the Bible, if that's what you believe, acting on the lust of a man and a woman and a woman, man and a child, woman and a child, whatever the case may be, acting on that lustful aspect of it is wrong, based on the Bible, if that's what you choose to follow. Yeah, RJ, because that's what's going on right now. It started on Friday when Jay Wilson asked Brian, why did he feel that his homosexuality is a demon? You know, and Brian didn't answer. The thing is, funny is, and I mean, I don't have a problem with Brian either, but Brian, you didn't answer the question. Brian didn't answer the question. His answer was because my mama said so, and that's not an answer, because then it comes to me. My next question would be, do you think your mom never sinned? So why is whatever sin that she may have committed any better than your sin of homosexuality, or the sin that she made you think is homosexuality? And things that begets self-loathing, self-hatred, and things of that nature, and suicide, things of that nature, because you're teaching people to hate who they innately are. And the whole conversation of, oh well, you're mad because he said he wants to have a wife and kids. No, I don't think that's why people are upset or questioning that aspect. I think the reason why people are questioning is because 2 days after you said you want to have a wife and kids, you talk about sucking some dick. That's the problem. We have a ZT saying, well, it's true, it's true. You have Rico saying it's true, it's true. Those are the 2 most sexually promiscuous people on here, as far as gay or quote unquote St. John 11. And no offense to anybody with that, but it is what it is. Y'all show us that you are the most sexually promiscuous people on here. Now, I may talk sexually promiscuous, was not, but no one can ever say, oh, he acted on anything that he has said. Y'all act and say that y'all act on sexually promiscuous stuff, and then at the same time come out your mouth saying that it was wrong and you hate it. No. I can't believe you. I can't trust you. I can't take what you say if you saying it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. I hate doing this, what's not. But yet, in the next 5 minutes, whatever, you saying you'll take someone's man. You bragging about some man's eating your ass. You know what I'm saying? You having multiple partners. You know what I'm saying? Within a short period of time. You're bragging about having someone that you've been committed to for years, but yet you constantly rolling around in the mud with some other people that, quote unquote, are self-loathing and self-hating. Me as a black bisexual man, because I'm attracted to men and women, you know what I'm saying? Sexually attracted to men and women was not. I'm just happy right now to be with a man. And I don't believe in playing with people with people's emotions and their feelings was not. So that's why I'm not trying to go out there and sow seeds of dysfunction and discord elsewhere. See, it's about being honest with yourself, about knowing who you are, was not living in your truth, wherever that truth may be. That's it. It may change. But right now, you're bragging about sucking dick. You're talking about you want to go to a club and meet somebody and talk to. You want to be in a relationship with us now. You didn't say initially you want to be in a relationship with a man or a woman. Sorry, a woman. You said you want to be in a relationship with a man. I've never heard, what's up, high call people. I never heard of Brian saying anything about ever being in a relationship with a woman. Everything I've heard about Brian say was about him being with a man. So now all of a sudden, since whatever is not working out for you, was not whatever you're going through right now, and you can be going through whatever you're going through, which is fine. I'm not judging anyone. I'm saying it just sounds preposterous to me that someone that all we heard about is someone can eat your ass, and it's like, I'm just about all this grotesque stuff that dealing with homosexuality, but yet all of a sudden now you're emotional about wanting to a family, which is fine. I want kids. I want a wife, and I don't need a wife to have children. You know what I'm saying? I could raise and be productive and be a productive member of society without having a woman by my side or a man by my side. I can do it by myself. As long as I give the child that I choose to raise all the tools they need to be productive, healthy citizens of this world. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people don't understand. Like, a man's job. No, a man's job is whatever the man's job wants to be. A woman's job is whatever job the woman wants it to be. As long as you're not hurting anyone in the process. When you start putting these people in boxes, no one's ever going to check off every box that you have for them to check off. Just like you will never check off every box that people have for you to check off. As long as you're comfortable with who you are and you're not hurting anyone, as long as you're not trying to bring down anyone, as long as you're doing what God told us all to do, is to love each other, that's all that matters. Who I sleep with, who you sleep with, how many times you sleep with somebody was not who, whoever, same thing with me, that doesn't matter. If I'm putting out love, compassion out there into the world, and that love and compassion comes with me not being promiscuous, not playing with people's feelings, not playing with people's emotions, not lying to people, not lying to myself. That's what that love comes from. That's what love is. Love is honesty. Love is truth. Truth of self, truth to others. And if you don't understand that aspect of that, you already lost. Conversation is already gone. Homosexuality is not a battle for the soul. We as human beings choose to turn things to wherever we want them to be for us to feel good about what we're doing, about the sins that we're creating, that we're engaging in. So the whole conversation about, well, is it right? Is it wrong? Who cares? Who are you to judge anyone? What you're doing right now by judging someone is wrong, is a sin. The gossiping that you choose to partake in is a sin. Normally going into conversations not to cause destruction, dysfunction, is a sin. Putting salt on your food based on the Bible is a sin, because salt is used to preserve. having sex for gratification, which means if you're barren, if you can't have kids, you shouldn't be having sex because sex should be used based on procreation, not for pleasure, based on the Bible. So don't get into these biblical conversations, whatever, when you're sinning all the way through it, when you're a sinner at your core. Yes, people pick and choose the scriptures that they want to follow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so funny was that, like, I mean, the conversation of homosexuality was not that people been having. I'm listening to these things. I'm like, oh my God, y'all just really don't get it. Doing things for pleasure, sex, regardless if you're a man or woman, if you're married or not married, but sex supposed to be made was for procreation, not for pleasure. That was the sin. That's the original sin. What's up, love the shop? Love the shop? How you doing? What's ouch, baby? The truth. Hey, what's up, Brian? How you doing, sweetheart? And I'm talking about you, Brian. I sure am. Talk about the situation between you and Jay Wilson on Friday, and my understanding of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with it. And if you want to come up and talk about it, what's up, we can. But so you don't have to. You don't have to. But the thing is, he asked the question because you were on your video crying, saying that you felt that, what I'm saying, your issues that you're having with your sexuality was a demon, which is okay. Not judging that. Not judging that, what I'm saying, but that's what it is. It's a conversation. I know you do, babe. And this is not a judging thing. It's not a judging thing. I know you come up here, Ron. It's not a judging thing. But I want people to understand, like, the conversation that was had isn't about everyone's judging. Like, granted, everyone's messy. I felt you was messy when you went up there to talk to Shirley, because Shirley didn't even know what you did or said about her on your channel. Just like I feel that Roger Wilson asked the question, although the question was his question, it was still a messy question to, get what the result that he got. And your feelings towards homosexuality or your homosexuality was not, is your feelings. And I'm not even judging it or talking about those. I'm talking about what I know to be true, and leading with my own understanding. Yeah, I know you come in peace. I'm not trying to attack you or do anything like that. That's not that. This is not the conversation. This is not the place for it. I don't do it over here. I just say what I need to say, or say what I feel I need to say, and I move on from it. Whoever gets offended by it gets offended by it. And that goes not just you. It goes for Jay Wilson, because I don't fuck with him like that. It goes for everybody else who's been doing commentary on it. It goes for Rico, who is out here selling ass and sucking dick and getting fucked left and right. What's not, but yet saying it's wrong. You can't do that to me. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that, expect me to take what you're saying and use it as an example. No. You lead by example. If you think that homosexuality is wrong, stop being a homosexual slut. ZT, same difference. It doesn't matter what they say when your actions don't back up what you say. And that's all it is for me. Hey, C-Sex, baby, how you doing, sweetheart? Exactly. Right, Eugenia, baby. Exactly. And that's my point. Like, we all sin. There are 7 deadly sins, and we all engage in all those sins on a daily basis. We were born sinners. We're going to die sinners. It does not matter what someone else thinks of that. We're all going to die a sinner, because we were all born a sinner. When we was born into this flesh of ours, this human flesh of ours, we were born into sin. Oh, not Yama Van Sat. Don't do that. What's up, Yama Van Sat? That's my girl, too. Yama Van Sat, you cost me a job one back in the days. Reading your book in the meantime. Reading your book in the meantime cost me a job, baby. Because that's how I started becoming enlightened. Yama Van Sat. But yeah, it's just funny to me how everyone wants to have a conversation, but no one's really listening or talking about what's really going on. No one can really explain themselves and expound upon what they believe and why they believe a certain way. Yeah, I just don't want people to, when you speak with some type of authority, but have that authority based in some type of something that you can explain and actually articulate. Because I told somebody at my job, well, I told my manager at my job that because I said something doesn't work with me. Because I said so, they don't work with me. Who are you talking to? I'm a grown ass man. If you can't explain it to me, what's that? I can't do it for you. If I don't understand what's going on and you can't explain it to me, I can't do it for you. Sorry. Do what you need to do. And this is somebody who has authority over my paycheck and how I live. But at the same time, they respect the fact that I can speak that way. They can respect the fact that I can come to them as a human being, as a man, and say, no, I'm not doing this because I don't understand it. I need you to explain this to me. What's that? Why is this different? Why is this way? And that's what people ask. Like, nobody who's not trying to be messy and who truly is unbiased is going to sit here and just accept a blanket answer because I said so, because my mama said that. No, that doesn't make sense. What do you think? Okay, based on what your mama said, why is it that this happened? Why is it that you feel this way right here? Okay, you said the Bible said this. Doesn't the Bible say come into this for your own understanding? We know that preachers, there could be 10 different preachers out there preaching on one verse, one topic was not, and you have 10 different versions based on their own individual beliefs and based on their own individual understandings. You know? It's just like, no, I don't have a problem with anyone, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I want people to truly be able to articulate what they're saying, what they mean by what they're saying. It's never for me about, oh, because I'm taking someone else's understanding of someone else's opinion. It's because my understanding, because I can't live by what you think. I can't live vicariously through anyone. I have to be able to stand in what Fujiki did, why Fujiki think a certain way. When I hit the gates of heaven, you know what I'm saying? I can't say, oh, because this is what I've been taught. Okay, based on what you've been taught, what was your understanding of it? Why did you react? Why did you respond the way you responded? And if I can't articulate that, well, it's not based on the Bible. It's not, I won't be able to be into heaven if I can explain or defend what I did and my actions. And a defense is not because I said so, or because my mama said so, or because that's what I've been taught. No. Schooling teaches us lots of things. But the main purpose of schooling is to teach us how to think for ourselves. Our parents teaches us a lot of things, but the main purpose of parenting is being able to release your child out there into the world and they are productive citizens. At least that's my understanding of it. I'm not going back to my mom at 47 years old asking her what she thinks about what I'm doing. I don't care. You have given me the tools I need to be a productive citizen of this world. Allow me to be that productive citizen. God have breathed air into my body and gave me free will. While he's all knowing, it's the illusion of free will. If he's in control of everything, and that's the contradiction that people don't understand as well. If God knows everything, if God sees all, God knows all, he's all knowing, but yet he gives us free will. Is it truly free will or is it the illusion of free will? If he already knows what's going to happen before it happened. See, we can't keep on using these terms and twisting these things around for our own, you know what I'm saying, understanding, for our own argument. We have to be able to talk about these things and be able to articulate these things on a level of understanding and comprehension. As if we are trying to have someone else comprehend what we're saying, but not only that, that we comprehend what we're saying. We understand what we are saying while we're saying these things. Just saying. Exactly. People fit scriptures, fit the narrative. You know what I'm trying to say? Exactly. Right, wrong, and indifferent. Exactly. Well, not only that, excuse me, not only that, we putting emphasis and praise on books written by man, inspired by God and God's law. But do we not have faith in our own beliefs, in our own personal relationship with God? And it's not me as a gay man trying to defend a man who likes men was not trying to defend that. Well, no, I don't have to defend it to anyone on here. I'm not sleeping with anyone on here. I'm not trying to sleep with anyone on here. So what is the point of me trying to explain it to you? It's not. I'm just giving commentary based on what's going out there, based on what everyone else is talking about and how everyone else, I feel, is twisting and turning things to fit the narrative that they want it to fit. God's law. Have you actually seen God's law? Have God actually told you what it is, or he told you what's right for you? Because God never told you, go tell Food Junkie, this is right, this is wrong. God never told you that. Not my God, not the God that I serve, not my Heavenly Father and my earthly protector. He never told anyone to tell me anything. Because I have a personal relationship with God, which means that whatever he needs me to know, he tells me. My personal relationship with God is deep and serious. And it's not contingent on what someone else says. Because while I grew up Jehovah's Witness, I listen to some of the practices and some of the things that they do because it makes sense to me. But things that make sense to me, I don't regard that as my law. Because my mama told me that, because my mama raised me that way. No. I feel some of the things that she does, some of the things that she was based on the Bible, based on how her teaching was, that her understandings and learnings of that is completely wrong and not fit for me. So therefore, I don't follow them. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing good, nothing bad, nothing different about it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's to have faith is one thing with that, but you also, God gives you the free will to question, to make your own understanding, to come up with your own emphasis on things. You can't sit up there and say God give us free will, but yet he's all knowing. He's all seeing. Which one is it? We can't be contradictory. To me, that's contradictory. That's word salad with that. We can't say he gives us free will, but yet he's all knowing. He knows what we're going to do before we're going to do it. Hey, raw baby. You done said a mouthful right there. God is God. He all by himself. He doesn't need your help in being God. That's all facts. Or truer word have not been spoken. You know, and if we just allow God to be God and as he allowed us to be ourselves, we wouldn't have all these problems that we have. But once again, it's all commentary. Everyone thinks everything is commentary. Everything we talk about is that. But then get upset when people talk about it. Hence why I did the social media Miranda rights. You have the right to talk about anything you want to talk about, what's not. But don't get offended when people discuss it or ask you about it. You don't have to say anything. That's your right. You can have your opinion. That's your right as well, to have an opinion. But if my opinion differs from yours and I ask you a question and ask for clarification or understanding based on what you said, why get upset about that? And why take your personal grievances out on people that you don't like? Like I said, I don't fuck with Jay Wilson, what's not, and I can easily try to roast and gag and whatever, but the reality is, I'm just talking about what he did, what he said, and what I see the genesis of it all happening is, and the why. I don't care about him personally. I truly don't. I don't care about them glory greens in a can. That was, let me see. Now I'm being messy. Now I'm being messy. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about the glory greens in a can. I don't care about that French onion soup he made as green bean casserole. I don't care about none of that stuff. It's funny. I find it funny to laugh at it. Well, it's not, and laugh at the explanations of it. But the reality is, I'm not trying to worry about all that. And see, Lionheart baby, you are preaching them of the word. That is so true. They worship the book and not the entity. They give reverence to the book and not the entity. And if you don't give reverence to that book, they think that you don't have reverence for that entity, which is not true. And just because God, you say your God put you on the path that you're on, why can't my God put me on the path that I'm on? That's what I said. It's not for me to judge. If people think that their homosexuality is a demon, that's their choice. That's their belief. I can't question that. That's what you believe. It's not what I believe, and you're not gonna make me believe it. Nor am I trying to make you believe anything that you're saying. But at the same time, don't say that you are battling and struggling and all this other stuff was not Rico, ZT, all your other men out there was not who does all these sexually perverse things. But yet, what is wrong is wrong is wrong. Then why are you doing it? If you know that is wrong, you know that it's against God's will, God's law for you, why are you disobeying God? Why are you engaging in acts and things that you know God will not be pleased with? Why are you doing and engaging in acts that you know is unpleasing to your Heavenly Father? If that's what you truly believe, or are you just trying to be contradictory to create conversation and controversy? You know what I'm saying? Because you want to be part of a conversation. But yet your entire act, your entire life has been one of debauchery. You say that you know what you're doing is wrong, but yet you're consistently doing it. You keep knowing that if you put your hands in the fire, you're going to get burned, but yet you consistently put your hands in the fire. You're consistently stealing stuff, knowing that it's against the law, but yet you're doing it, whatever. Is it a compulsion? What is it? See, if you can explain to me that, I want to hear you talking about it, because to me, I think that you're lying to me. I think you're trying to play with my intelligence. If you can't say, yes, I am struggling, I am working hard not to do this, I have this compulsion. But no, it's like every drop of the dime, you trying to fuck somebody. What's up, the overdose, baby? How you doing? Why y'all up in here preaching today? Don't not tonight, not on the Sunday evening. Y'all not preaching the word. Mind you, that's a sin in itself. Willingly committing the sin that you condemn. Exactly. So I'm supposed to believe what you're saying when I'm seeing you go against everything that you're saying. See, that's what devils do. They tell you one thing, do as I say, not as I do. They want to lead you and confuse you. To me, that's what the devil does. The devil wants to lead you to confusion, to abandon your principles, to abandon your beliefs, to question what God is doing for you, to have you doubt and not have faith. Because it puts doubt in someone's mind if you're not strong and have a connection with God or relationship with God, when you hear someone saying, oh, homosexuality is wrong. But yet every time you turn around, they're going out of town to have sex with a man. They're on camera bragging about what they did, what they done with the man. How they can take your man when you're a female. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're a male. Every man wants them. Every man wants to do this and do that to them. Well, it's not. But yeah, it's a sin though, right? That's not confusion. That's not devilment to you. It is to me. See, I don't watch double-tongued people. I don't watch people who speaks out the sides of out of ends of both ends. I can't trust you. I can't trust you to do right by yourself. So how can I trust you to do right by me? I'm just saying, make it make sense. If I can't trust you to do right by yourself, why would I trust you or put trust in you to do right by me? See, they don't like this type of conversation. Was that they want the conversations where I'm downing and dogging people? Was not, and I'm not down dogging anybody. I'm just saying what it is, what's out there, what has been presented to me. I'm not running anyone down, not dogging anyone, not trying to cuss anyone. Was not none of those things. I'm saying You should lead by example. And if you're out here saying that homosexuality is wrong, stop engaging in all types of debauchery of homosexuality. And if we're going to say we're going to follow the Bible, show me. Don't tell me anything. Show me that you're following the Bible. Show me that you're not judging people. Show me that you're not casting the first stone. Show me that the struggle, because the thing is, struggling, we're supposed to see that struggle. We do. But if 1 minute you're saying homosexuality is wrong, but next minute you're talking about how much dick you done suck or how much dick you done took, that's double-minded. I can't believe you. It's not a struggle for you when you're bragging about it, when you're willingly committing the quote-unquote sin that you condemned. I'm just saying, but they're not ready for this type of conversation. They want the yelling, screaming back and forth and arguing with each other. They want that type of conversation with each other. They don't want to have actually talk. They want to actually give answers to explain their point or explain their point of view or their thought process behind what they say they believe. Now, mind you, listen to what I said. What they say they believe, not what they have shown us what they believe. Because what they're showing us is a complete opposite of what they say. Exactly. Which not judging. But even that, not the thing is, but people also don't want to believe that Jesus has sinned himself. Because how can he atone for our sins when he's never been a sinner himself? We don't know what it is to be a sinner. In the Bible, it says Jesus has committed every sin known to man. Which means that Jesus himself has committed the 7 deadly sins. That's how he can die for ours. God is in my heart, in my head, in my spirit. God is in me, and I am God. Because just like you're part of your mother and your father, which makes you you, if God is truly a part of you, you are God. I am my mother and my father. I am God. I'm not a God. I'm not a deity. No. A deity. No. But I am God. He flows through me. This word that I'm giving right now is from God. Because it's what he has told me to say. It's what he has led me to say. I'm not looking for assumption from somebody else. I'm not looking for absolute forgiveness from somebody else. Not from a sinner. Not from a person like that. No. True. God is everything. God is everything. The good, the bad, and the indifferent. In order for you to understand God truly, that you have to accept it, all that and accept the fact that he is everything. If God allows us to go through what we go through with that, the good, the bad, and the different, we have to accept that. That's why I say it's up to us to learn from that. The bad things that I've experienced in life, it will if it's truly God's will, I must accept that and learn from that. What is it that you meant for me to learn from this? Okay, now you're doing too much, baby. God's not homosexual. If God is, what is God? If God is not homosexuality, if God is everything, why isn't he homosexuality? See what I'm saying? When you bring up things like that, and trying to throw me off my path, my question still go back to you. If God's not homosexuality, what is God? If he's not, but he's everything. You can't have one or the other. Either he's everything or he's not something. He's most things. If God is a universe and homosexuality is part of the universe, that means God created demons. Why couldn't God be homosexuality? They're trying to troll, Raw. You know how it is, baby. You know I love a good troll. They'll say something that kind of draws you in, and then they'll throw away off the beaten path. At least try to. Good question, Lionheart, baby. Because when you focus on the one sin of homosexuality was not, how about just the sin of judging? How about the sin of, what I'm saying? You know, if like I said, if you okay, let's just say everyone who was homosexuality or practiced homosexuality was not, or had the feelings and thoughts of homosexuality was not, was delivered. But yet they still smoke, they still drink, they still judge each other, they still kill, they still take what's not theirs. They still lust after women, lust after men if they're the opposite sex. Isn't all that a sin as well? Outside of God. But God is everything. So if God is everything, what could be outside of God? See, that still is the question. God is everything, but sin is outside of God. But if God is everything, what could be outside of God? You see how the questions still come up and really no true answer to that question because there is no answer to that. If God is everything, God knows all, God sees all, God is the universe, God is why the universe exists. What is outside of that? If God created everything in the universe, how can homosexuality be something that was not created by God? And if you say the demon, the devil, Satan created homosexuality was that to tempt us to whatever, but didn't God create Satan? If I create a picture, I no longer want that picture. Don't I have the power to destroy that picture? I'm just saying. See, I think critically, I think logically. You can't come to me and trip me up with what the quote unquote the church or what people say God have said. Because my question, because I said I have a relationship with God. God tells me what He wants me to know. God shows me what He wants me to see. See, you still didn't answer the question. You still didn't answer the question. Exactly, Reinhardt. If God is a universe, homosexual is not part of the universe. But God created everything. But He didn't create homosexuality. The feelings of lust, the feelings of despair, all these feelings that we feel. How can God be everything then? How can God be all encompassing when He didn't create everything? God gave us free will. But yet, which means that every possibility out there known to the universe, God has given us that opportunity to grab those things, to latch onto those things that works best for us, that we feel is embedded within us. But yet, that one thing that people see as a sin, is out of God. So homosexuality is not, what I'm saying, of God. But someone who murders children is of God. Sin itself is of God. Because if God is a loving Father, or is God is a jealous? Because why, if God isn't jealous, why can't we worship other identities. See how the questions will continue to come up as long as us as human beings think that we know the answer and don't trust and have faith that God will tell us and show us what we need to know and so for us to survive the situation. I'm not even mad or upset about the conversation or the questions or about the statements. I just have questions. You know? No, that's not what God says. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. What passage in the Bible says that? What passage in the Bible says that? I have a Bible right here in front of me. What passage in the Bible says that? Give me the chapter, give me the verse that God says that. Please do. Give me that thing. Like I mentioned earlier. See, you wasn't here earlier, baby. So you were just coming across the conversations. My understanding is that when it says God, man should not lay with man as he lays with woman, is when Noah's son did something inappropriately to Noah. And that could be taken as a father-son situation. It could be taken as a lot of different things. It does not say male and female. No, because sex is a sin if you're not doing it for procreation. If you're out there having unwedded sex, unmarital sex, well, it's not, and sex for pleasure in general, even if you are married, if you're not trying to have a baby with sex, that could be considered a sin. Based on what the Bible, quote unquote, says. Because the Bible says sex is meant for procreation, not for pleasure. I'm just saying. I'm not a biblical scholar, but I know what it's been. No, you said it. Don't tell me to search for myself. That's the problem. Don't say, because you can't find it. Where did you find it? You're supposed to be here to help, right? You're supposed to be here to assist, right? You're supposed to be here to enlighten me, right? Telling me to search for myself? No. I'm telling you what I saw in the Bible. I've never seen it in the Bible. I'm asking you, where did you see it? See, that's the problem. We have people to give you the verse and the chapter, what's not said. Oh, find it yourself. No. You're here to assist, right? You're here to show me. You're here to show me the way. I'm asking you for your assistance. Please show me where it's at. See what I'm saying? See, I'm saying you never win that with me. Search for yourself. You see how they do it, y'all? You're telling me what the Bible says. I'm telling you, I never saw it in the Bible. So I'm asking you for your assistance when you're telling me to search for myself. That's not God-like, is it? That's not helping my brother, my fellow man, to be enlightened, to lead me to Christ, is it? To tell me to search for myself? Wow. That's interesting. Yeah, now you're on my nerves. Because now you're trying to distract and deflect. I don't do the fact that I don't mind a troll. You know, I love a good troll, y'all. I love a good trolling. But what I don't do is a deflection and distraction thing very well. One thing what I have is someone playing with my intelligence on any level. You know, you can't tell me to look in the Bible and search for myself when I ask you to help me out to give me some assistance. You can't do that because you haven't seen it in the Bible. You don't know what's in the Bible. But it's all good. You know, play games with someone else because your boy don't play these type of games. Yeah. Have a good day. Thank you for coming. Appreciate your conversation for the time being. What's up, Cousin Christian, baby? How you doing, sweetheart? Yes, I did. He did sin. Because how can he, if he didn't sin, how will he be able to know what I'm going through as a sinner? And he died for my sins. Yes. If he was born into an earthly body and he was born, and we're all born sinners. Yes, he sinned. What's the issue? See, that's the problem. Everyone don't want to believe that, saying Jesus is a perfect person. But how can you understand if you're a perfect person who have never experienced anything, have never sinned whatsoever a day in your life? How can you understand what we all experience as human beings if you really didn't have the human experience? Do y'all believe Jesus had a human experience? Like I said, it's logical to me. I'm not a biblical scholar, nor do I profess to be. I'm telling you, if my understanding of Jesus that he had a human experience, as a human, we all were born sinners. And in order for you to understand a sinner, you must have been able to experience what the sinners have experienced. So therefore, logically, critically thinking, he sinned. Did I say he stole a candy bar from a 7-Eleven? No. Did I say that he committed adultery? Some people don't believe that Jesus was married, but yet some people believe that Mary Magdalene was his wife. Do I have a marriage license and a marriage certificate for that? No, I don't. But like I said, it's what you want to believe. If you don't believe he sinned, that's your choice. But you're not going to tell me that he didn't sin. Foolish is saying that Jesus had to experience sin in order for him to understand what we go through as human beings, in order for him to absolve us of our sins. That's what I'm saying. Now, you believe it or you don't believe it, it is what it is. You can't, Rob, baby. That's fine, sweetheart. Like I said, and the thing is, like I said, people don't believe, like, in your church, did you hear that Jesus was married to Mary Magdalene? Or did you hear that he wasn't? I don't care what people say about, oh, I've been hurt all my life, and no offense to anyone, but it is what it is. That's my belief, and no one can take me away from that belief. It is what it is. I'm not upset with anyone, not mad at anyone, and I'm going to try to send out a search party to find what sin he committed. If he had a human experience and he died for our sins, how do you believe someone knows what we're going through? And we say that Jesus knows what we're going through. Jesus, only you know what I'm going through, and I'm this sinner, but yet he's this perfect being. It doesn't make sense to me. It's not logical. Okay, that's fine. Okay. But you haven't heard that people thought that Mary Magdalene was his wife, though, Ron? You haven't heard that before? Okay. I'm just saying, like, because you haven't heard it, don't mean it's not out there. It's not being spoke about. That's fine, baby. Like I said, y'all upset, like, get upset on towards that. Like I said, this is a choices conversation. This is my commentary. Once again, I am not a biblical scholar. I don't follow books that's written by men, inspired by God. Because like I said, how many times have the Bible been misinterpreted or reiterated and rewritten? And how many different versions of the Bible are there out there? And each time the Bible is rewritten, reinterpreted, something is different. And am I going to go out there and read every Bible? No. I trust that God gave me what he needs me to have. And if God gave me the thought process of coming to a conclusion or assessment, I'm okay with that. But that's still my assessment of the situation. I don't want you to believe it. I'm not trying to get into a biblical debate with you about is it true if it's not true. I'm telling you what I believe. Also, so if you heard it before, then why act like, saying I'm saying something that's not true? I didn't say he wasn't. I said some people believe that. And like you said, you believe he wasn't married. But if you heard it before, me saying it now shouldn't be a shock. Like, oh yeah, I heard that before too, but I don't believe it. Which is the best response that we can have. But telling me to prove something was not that I just said it's out there. I'm not proving. I'm not a biblical scholar. I'm not trying to prove it. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it's common sense. You can't say, "Oh, he knows my sin. He knows what I'm feeling going through." It's not. If I never experienced a paper cut, and you say a paper cut is the worst thing you ever had in your life, I can't understand that. Only that I had that feeling, that involvement in something was not, can I understand it? truly, to the point where I can absolve you of yours. That's just my understanding. You know, and it's okay that everyone don't think that way. But that's just me. It's not blasphemy, it's just is what I feel. But like I said, right, the Bible is still an interpretation. Which version did you read? Which edition did you read? I'm not saying I found it in any Bible. I'm just saying I heard it before. Like y'all want to be literal on certain things, but not on everything. You want to be literal on certain things, but not on everything. Okay. See, and I didn't say he's a sinner. See, that's what I'm saying. Comprehension is something that we all don't have. Experiencing a sin does not make you a sinner. Experiencing a sin does not make you a sinner. A lustful thought is a sin, correct? Isn't a lustful thought a sin? Can we agree that a lustful thought is a sin? So you can't tell me that Jesus never had a lustful thought in his life. Thank you, Lion. No, I'm just saying, if Jesus committed a lust, did I say he was out there busting the wide and dropping it low? No, I didn't say that. See, that's what y'all interpret that as. But if he had a lustful thought, if just let's say he and Mary Magdalene were married, let's just say this for example, and when he saw her, he had a lustful thought like, "Damn, she's fine." You know what I'm saying? What if Jesus said, "Damn, she's fine," in his head? Didn't act on it, but isn't the thought of lust a sin? So wouldn't that mean that he have committed a sin? If based on what y'all say the Bible says, why did see me turn it on? If based on what y'all say the Bible says, sins are, and lust is one, hubris is a sin. All these things that we say sins are: envy, wrath, pride. Jesus had a human experience, but he never experienced any of those things. Okay, that's your opinion, and my opinion is different. Let's just leave it at that, because I don't want to sit here and debate that aspect of anything that y'all believe. Now, what's next? This is my commentary. So what's next? If using foul language, cussing Kristen, is a sin, isn't your name in itself a contradictory? Isn't the name cussing Christian in itself blasphemy? I'm just saying. So you like when y'all come to people who actually can think and they can process certain things and who's not trying to judge anyone for anything, but yet you want them to defend themselves. That's what I have a problem with. You want me to defend what I'm thinking, how I think, how I live my life was not as if it affects you in any way, shape, or form, but yet what you're doing in itself is hypocrisy to me. It's the same thing as someone saying homosexuality is wrong, but yet I'm a blatant homosexual. It doesn't make sense to me, no matter how you put it. It's not. So, in order to do foul language, don't you have to have negative thoughts and disparaging thoughts? So you telling me when people cuss, they're happy? Oh, that motherfucker is just, I love that motherfucker. Oh my God, this is the best thing in the world. Fuck you, bitch. And oh my God, I'm just so happy. No. When you have foul language, it's because you have thoughts that are unpure. I'm not stupid by any means. You can't debate me on something that I know to be true. In order for you to have foul language, you have to have foul thoughts. Hence the word foul. Foul doesn't mean good. Foul doesn't mean happy. Foul doesn't mean pleasurable. Destructive, bad, foul. It's funny to me, like, what's the debate? I'm confused. What are we talking about right now? Oh, Lionheart. See, thank you, baby. See, because I'm not a biblical scholar. I'm not going to quote scripture. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give you verse, but I'm also not going to tell you that it's in the Bible. I'm saying this is my thoughts. Everything I'm saying is my thought. Everything I'm saying is my thought. Everything I'm saying is a thought of mine. It's my thought. What is cussing, cursing, baby? Please tell me what the sin is. I can look it up. I can look it up and tell you what the Oxford Dictionary says that sin is. Now, since we're on my books, right? We go by books, right? We go by books. Let me look up and see what the Oxford definition of a sin is. Since we like to go by books that was written by men. What's the definition of a sin?
You're virtuous and typically regarded as being in heaven after death.
No, that's saint, baby. Not saint, a sin. What's the definition of a sin?
Here's the definition of sin: an immoral act considered to be a transgression against divine law.
We heard that? No. I told you a definition of what a sin is. Y'all chose not to believe that. Y'all want to debate me on that. I told you already what I feel what sins are. Y'all don't want me to tell you what I think it is, because when I did that was not already about 10 minutes ago. Y'all want to debate me on it. So now we need to go to what books that y'all want to me to find what it is. So the Oxford Dictionary said a sin is something that goes against divine law. And if there's 7 deadly sins based on divine law and lust, like Lionheart said, as a man thinketh, if a thought of something, an angry thought could be a sin. I mean, you act on it, but it's an angry thought, which could be considered wrath. The thought that you see somebody who has something that you don't have, and you think to yourself, damn, I wish I had that. Jealousy. You see somebody that you find attractive, damn, they look good. Lust. The fact that you're not even willing to listen or understand or comprehend what I'm saying could be considered pride, which is all part of the 7 deadly sins, correct? Procrastination, which could be considered sloth, laziness, could be considered a sin. I'm just saying, this is me just giving you my interpretation of of what I know it to be. But clearly you don't want that. You want me to pull it out of a book. So I did that already for you. I'm confused. Is it? Okay, then why are you here? Cousin Christian, why are you here, baby? If you're going to sit here and listen to somebody who is talking to you for about 15 minutes and who's doing blasphemy, and you're not giving me any type of structure as to where I can find it at, why are you here? You don't have to leave, but call me blasphemous because I don't believe what you believe, and you're not explaining to me why I should believe what you believe, but calling me a name, is that not a sin? You're calling me blasphemous because I'm not believing what you believing. You're judging me, basically. Isn't judge you not unless you be judged? He without sin cast the first stone. Aren't those things in the Bible as well? So calling me blasphemous is not a sin because you're not judging me. You're thinking something that is not true. But it's still your opinion, and you can do what you want to do with it. Do you see how I'm not upset about that? No, you said it. You called me blasphemous. Don't put that back on me. You said, hold on, what is it right here, baby? Your commentary is considered blasphemous. Read up on that. Now you want to ask me, what is blasphemous to you? Then you said, I know what it hold on, right here, Miss One. Read what blasphemous means. I know what it means. Those are all the things that you put on here. The word blasphemous didn't come up until you brought it up. Yes, I know what it means. But what do you think it means? What is your understanding of what blasphemous means? You tell me that. You tell me you know, but I don't know that you know because you haven't told me what it means yet. Thank you, Raw, baby. That's my point right there. That's my own point. And if Jesus was one of us, he had to have committed a sin as well. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'll tell you anything. That's the point is, you're telling me that I'm blasphemous. You're telling me you know what it means. Then you ask me what do I think it means? How that makes sense? I see why you're a cussing Christian, because you can't get your words out across. You can't articulate what you mean. If I was you, I'd be a cussing Christian too, baby. I'd be a cussing Christian too if I was you. Because you can't tell me what blasphemy means after you call me blasphemous. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. You're knocking on my door as a Christian, telling me to explain to you what my beliefs are, opposed to trying to bring me to God. I'm confused. How are you supposed to bring me closer to God and whatever God that you want me to serve when you can't articulate your points properly? When you can't articulate what you're trying to say properly? Does it make sense, y'all? Can someone help this make sense for me, please? Someone. On what part, baby? On what part? Oh, on the Jesus sin part? That's fine. You can, Raw. That's fine. I said that's not the argument. Like I said, we're all entitled to our own opinions. We're all entitled to our own beliefs, and we're all entitled to our own values. And it's okay. Obviously, that right there. See, Roy, me and your conversation is different than me and Cousin Christian conversation. The name calling, the trying to shame and disgrace is why I have a problem with this whole Cousin Christian situation right here. Is not with him in general, not with them in general, but with their commentary in my chat right now. You can't call me names. You can't try to shame me. You can't try to embarrass me to get me to shut down on what I'm saying. Now, if you want to have an articulate conversation, we can do that. But the fact that your name is Cousin Christian and you can explain and articulate what you mean by what you're saying, you call me out my name saying that I'm blasphemous and I'm committing a quote unquote sin, but you can't tell me what your idea or what your point of it is. I'm confused. You're not, but yet you're still here. But you're still here. You're calling me out my name. You said I'm blasphemous. Was not. I'm committing all these sins against God. But yet you can't tell me what blasphemous, what I say is blasphemous, and what blasphemy means to you. You can write all this other stuff in the chat, but you can't write down that. Make that make sense. You're able to write all these other words in this chat, but you can't write down what is blasphemous that I'm saying to you and what you mean by that. I'm confused. I'm not angry at all, sweetheart. That's what you understand. Because I have power in this situation. I'm talking to you because I want to talk to you. I'm talking to you because you're trying to do something and you're not showing yourself to be as God-like as you want people to believe you are while you're still cussing. Mad? Who's angry? You're getting angry. You're getting angry because you don't know what blasphemous means. Girl. And that's what I said. Ooh, Lionheart girl. Didn't I just say that not too long ago? Didn't I just say, what am I saying that is going against God? Didn't I just say that? So therefore, it's the comprehension level of cussing Christian that kind of is intriguing, and that is intriguing me. See now, Rod, now you're trying to be funny, sweetheart. Don't do that. I already told you what blasphemy means. I've been telling you what blasphemy means for the past 10 minutes. Because we don't understand, because we can't comprehend. So not we, y'all can't comprehend. Y'all choose not to understand because it doesn't fit your narrative. I'm supposed to sit here and have you control how I choose to do my commentary. What I choose to play, what I choose not to play. When I already said what Lionheart said blasphemy means. I've said that several times already during this whole commentary and back and forth with Custom Christian. While they're telling me that I don't know what blasphemy means. What did I say that was blasphemous? I was called blasphemous. What did I say was blasphemous? That Jesus sinned? And I gave you the reason why I think that he committed a sin or have sinned? Because he was a human being here on the planet Earth. He wasn't a godlike figure on the planet Earth. When he was walking this earth, he walked as a man. And as a man, we all sin. What's blasphemous about that? What's blasphemous about that? When Jesus walked this earth, do we not agree that he walked as a man? That's not blasphemous. If he was one of us, if he was one of us, if he was one of us, if he walked as us, why is that a logical assumption that he experienced what we experienced as we experienced it? I'm confused. How is that blasphemous? So anytime something questions, see, God don't mind being questioned. It's us as humans who think that we're infallible that mind the questions. People ask all the time, why God? Is that blasphemous because they ask, why God? Or God, why have you allowed this to happen to me? Why have you forsaken me? That's not blasphemous. That's asking questions. And if we have the free will to ask questions, to come to an understanding of our own, why would it be considered blasphemous? That's not blasphemy, baby. It's not going against God by saying that. That's not going against God. That's not blasphemy. As God's son, but on earth as a human being, yes or no? Yes or no? As God's son, how was he able to be killed? And then brought back to life if he was a God or God's son. God allowed it to happen. God allowed it to happen. God allowed it to happen. Y'all think that God just put him on here, you're my son, and you can't identify with the people whatsoever. Just show them my way. And do y'all think that God, Jesus, was brought here as a full-grown human being, or was the story of him being born in a manger a lie too? Because you can't tell me he was a perfect child. Did I say when he sinned, what he did? Did he ever disobey Mary and his father? Could that be considered a sin? I'm just saying, like, y'all are taking things way too fucking literally. Y'all are trying to dissect everything as a fully grown adult man who worshiped and led people to God, things of that nature. I'm saying through the course of Jesus' life, from birth to death, at some point he sinned. Period. It could be his mom's Mary saying, "Don't touch the bread. Wait for the bread," and he took a piece of bread. That could be a sin. I'm just saying, y'all are so silly to me. Like, y'all take things like, Oh, well, he's saying that Jesus was out there busting it loose and sparing it wide. No, that's not what I said. Over the course of his life, I see your question, sweetheart. I see your question. And that's for you to have an understanding and a conversation with God about. My thoughts that have nothing to do with you or this conversation. Because what you're trying to do is take what I say and turn it around for some other bullshit. Cussing Christian, baby. See, I don't fall into these stupid ass biblical conversations that where people are too close-minded to even understand or to expand their mind past what their understanding is. So you can write it big, you can write it small, you can write it all in capital letters. It's still going to be unanswered. Don't ask me anything. Why are you still here? I'm a blasphemous person. You're not leading me to God by asking me these questions. You're not giving me anything that will clear my cloudy judgment, let you think it or tell it or let you say it. So why are you here? I'm confused. I'm looking at you like I'm looking at the screen with my head cocked to the side. I'm wondering why you here. Why are you still typing? I clowned you on the blasphemy thing was not because I've been telling you what blasphemy was because I wasn't going against God by any way, shape, or form by saying what I'm saying because that's what blasphemy is. I didn't just kind of say it that way, but I've been telling you that for the past 20 minutes now. Now you want to go to another different topic? No. Why are you here? Why are you here, Ike? Why are you here? See, like I said, I love people who think that they're smarter than me, or they can trap me up and say something that make say something I don't mean or what I don't believe. No. I've been me for a long time. Why are you here? Why are you here? I mean, I'm not worried about that because I'm not committing blasphemy. I'm not going against God. I'm not going against God at all. That's not a blasphemous idea. It's not a blasphemous thought. And me saying that Jesus have sinned over the course of his human life is not blasphemy. If you're born a human, we're all born in sin. So you're telling me that popes and people who are touched by God have never sinned before in their life? And I'm not even denying that either. But what did I say that was blasphemous? I'm confused. You tell me that people who are touched by God, who are led by God, never committed sin. Never committed a sin of lust, envy, wrath, sloth, pride. Okay. Y'all are silly as hell. And you expect me to sit here and believe that? No. God gave me the free will to think. God gave me the free will to understand, to comprehend, to critically think. You too, baby. Have a good day. Appreciate you being here. I don't see the thing is people think, oh, mad. Y'all use that term. Oh, they mad because I disagree. No, baby, we can have a disagreement all day long. We can have a heated debate if that's what you want to do. But at the same time, you have to be able to prove what you're saying. You have to be able to articulate what you're saying. Stop the name calling, stop the judging, stop the pride that you have within yourself with that because you believe that you're right and no one else can be right based on if they're different from yours, and be able to articulate what you're saying. Good night, Christian baby. See you next time. We'll see you around these streets, baby. You know, that's all I, like. It's so funny to me how people want you to believe what they believe, and when you don't, they get mad. Then say that you're mad because you're not going with the flow. I'm not cussing. I'm not fussing. I'm not screaming. I'm not yelling. I'm not calling out your name. I'm not picking at you. I'm not poking at you. I'm not doing none of those things. I'm saying what I believe. I'm giving you the reason why I say I believe it. Either you accept it or you don't. And if you don't accept it, what's not, and you want to have a conversation with me about it, be able to articulate yourself in a way that is without trying to name call it and without trying to shame me for some reason. It doesn't work with me. Now, when you have the names that we have on here, now when I see you do what you do on here, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm confused. I fight with who I want to fight with. I argue with who I want to argue with. I'm not arguing with anyone on my channel. But at the same time, I've been telling you what blasphemy is. I've been telling you why I think the way I think. And it's okay if you don't agree with it. Just say that. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with that. Which is great. You don't have to. No one has to agree with me. Just like Eugenia said, baby. This is my channel. This is my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not telling you to. But if anyone walks on this earth, Jesus bled like a human being. He had human experiences. Can we not at least agree on that? I'm confused. Like, he was a child. He was a baby. He was an adolescent. He was a toddler. In all those aspects of your life, we sin daily because we were born within sin. Granted, we're a son of God, or he was a son of God. But when we think that everyone and everything is infallible, that's where we go wrong. Yes, in heaven, he is this being that is without sin, without things. But here on earth, you walk as a man. So therefore, for me, it's just logical. It may not be true, but sorry, I'm just burped. It may not be true, but that's how I feel. As a man, he sinned. Can I tell you what the sin was? No. Have I ever heard anyone say this is a sin to him? No. This is a sin he committed? No, I never heard that. It's just my thought process, me being a critical thinker. But to hold back to the beginning of the conversation, homosexuality and the battle for our soul. You know? And if I'm going to be in some type of spiritual trouble, was not because that's my thought, then I'm willing to accept that and deal with that. Just like whatever sin, no sin is greater than the next. No sin. Sin of homosexuality, sin of lustfulness, sin of greed, sin of stealing and thievery or murder was not. It's all sin. But it's up to us to ask for forgiveness for the sins that we commit. To ask God to make our hearts pure, or as pure as it needs to be, or should be, or capable of being. And as long as we're walking around this earth loving each other, having love for one another in our hearts, in our souls, in our spirits for one another, and we're not trying to hurt or harm anyone, or do things that are against your fellow person, that's all God asks. And that comes without judgment. That comes without, ill intentions. And that comes without you wanting to profit from it and you wanting to gain something from it. It comes without expectancy. I'm not talking to y'all trying to get something from you. I'm talking to y'all based on just letting y'all in on a little bit of how I think, how I feel, and what's been going on these YouTube streets and how I feel about that. That's all this is. I'm not trying to persuade or dissuade you on anything. And that's the problem. We want people to hold our hands. We want people to take us somewhere. I'm giving you commentary. And wherever you go from this is wherever you go from this. I'm not trying to get here to make you laugh, make you cry, make you mad. I'm not doing all that stuff. If you feel all that while listening to me, while listening to this, that's one thing. But that's not my goal. My goal isn't to be egregious or to be outlandish or to be humorous or what's not. You know what I'm saying? I may be silly throughout the process of that, but that's just who I am while I'm delivering my commentary. Like I said, I can have a heated debate. I can have a debate, but it has to be based in logic. It has to be based with you trying to comprehend, and you want me to comprehend what you're saying. But just by throwing out little names, and that don't work for me. I'm smart of a person for that. God had given me the ability to think too logically for that, too critically for that. And that's the gift and the thanks that I give God. If not, I'll be a follower. I wouldn't leave to my own understanding. I go by what y'all think, what y'all want me to feel, how y'all want me to react and interact with y'all. No, I can't do that. That's not how I live my life. I live my life based on the principles that God have instilled upon me in every aspect. Either like it or dislike it. But you don't have to be here. I'm not going to give you some fakeness. I'm not going to give you some craziness. Well, it's not. I'm not going to give you some outlandish commentary because that's what you want. That's what you expect because somebody say they over in the quote unquote beefing sector. I'm not going to be cussing and fussing you out because that's what you want. You know? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's what it is, y'all. Like I say, I won't much, but I mean, that's what's been going on. Then panels left and right over here, you know what I'm saying? And this area was not people talking about what happened on Friday in the Jay Wilson's chat, whatever, you know what I'm saying, where him and Brian and a couple of people got into some conversations that, you know what I'm saying, was interesting, spirited and interesting. So my thing is, we shouldn't have to worry about what someone else is doing unless we're trying to engage in it with them. But at the same time, don't come on here lying and trying to lead people down a path that is not accurate. Oh, it is wrong. But yeah, you're the biggest dick sucker on here. Your back being blown up. I want more people on here than not. You're out there busting the wild spirit and loose for everybody who will allow you to do it for them. Come on now, stop that. That's hypocrisy. That's the bullshit I'm talking about. You can't tell me don't do something was not when you're out here being the biggest whore out here. Like, stop. Stop. It doesn't make sense to me. It would never make sense to me. Just like people telling me what they said on here. You can't do that what's not expect me to believe that and walk with that and walk in that. I'm just saying, y'all, this is your boy Food Junkie. I love you guys. Thanks so much for the heated conversations on the people that I had them with. Not only the heated, the conversations, you know what I'm saying, the discussions, the back and forth. I definitely appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Love you guys. But as always, it's not a point that I love you guys. It's a point that you love yourself. You love someone else. You respect yourself. And you definitely respect someone else. This is your boy Food Junkie. And y'all. And on that note, which I agree with totally, like we act like we know what God and who God is for everybody. Not coming to the understanding and realization that each individual's relationship with God is personal. You know what I'm saying? Our understanding and knowledge of God is based on our own personal experiences with Him. Thank you for that, Lionheart Baby. That you've been preaching all since we've been on here. Y'all have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, which I tend to do. And I'll talk to you crazy kids later. Until next time, this is your boy Food Junkie, and I'm out.